Hi, everyone. Welcome to Build in Public with Natively. Today, we're super excited to have Kelly from USA. He got his own mobile app idea, and today he's going to build that with us. So, hi, Kelly. Please tell us about yourself, but also if you can pitch your idea, what you want to build today with us.
It's funny that that's the way that people pronounce my name when they have that type of accent, because Kelly is my wife's name.
Okay.
My name is Kyle, but it's literally the same exact letters, just a little rearranged. But yeah, my name is Kyle, and I have been working on apps for quite a long time. I am not a technical co-founder of any sorts. I don't do any sort of coding, but I have the type of brain that, kind of can map around screens and features. I grew up in the perfect time, perfect generation to just start using phones at an early enough age where I still experienced life, but phones kind of developed along with me and started upgrading along with me. I work as a business analyst, so I kind of took that knowledge and ability to figure out problems and usage, put it into my career, working into the UX UI design career as well. Very competitive market, but with software like Natively, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do the other side of the coin, which is the development side of the coin, do some real proof of concepts before I start putting it out into the world. So I like this format that you have with becoming a customer, the first paid customer, and being able to offer that type of user feedback right off the bat. It definitely helps validate ideas like ours.
Thanks, man. And if you can pitch the idea, like what you want to build today with us.
Yeah, so the name is still a work in progress, but right now I'm calling it Humidex, a human Rolodex, where you're not so focused on being a salesperson. This is really geared towards those people who go to networking events or conventions, and you're trying to meet people, trying to make contacts that you can use in the future. But you're when you're in those fast-paced environments, you're just talking about yourself, what you do, talk about what they do, and you try to see where the paths cross and where you can use them in whatever you're trying to work on. So this is really intended to help build a more human relationship with those types of people, where you associate an interest with their contact. So it's basically a contact saving platform on your phone. But rather than just alphabetical A to Z, here's a person that I met, and rather than just brief notes on your phone about them, you have to associate an interest of sorts with that person. So you get to, that restriction on adding a contact forces you to navigate a conversation in a certain way where you get to know that person, so that you can more easily remember that conversation that you had with them. They could more easily remember that conversation that they had with you because it was more personalized rather than here's what I'm doing, here's what you're doing, let's do them together. Less robotic, hopefully.
Well, yeah, sounds great because yeah, kind of there will be a context in the contacts, but also there will be some interest, like what you guys are like, like why you are kind of connected. So let's just build it.
All right. We shall build it. I have put together some form of a prompt already. Thank you to ChatGPT for that. And I really want to make use of your entire character limit for the first go ahead.
That's nice. Let's do that.
So I'm going to share my screen here.
Yeah, I can see it. Perfect.
All right, so I'm going to paste it. I wonder if it's going to be over the character limit.
Oh,
Yeah, so
wow.
we have some work to do here. So, I think I copied too much. That was phase 2. So my thought process when I'm making the prompts is, at least for the start, you have to phase them into bare essentials and then feature enhancements. So that way you don't really confuse the app with trying to go down too far into a rabbit hole with one concept. So let's see if this fixes it. Okay. So we're at about 3,000 characters, and I want to see where I got to. So we got all the way down to the outcome, so we're good. So I'm going to hit send.
And have you used other like vibe coding tools so far, or like this is kind of like your first ones?
I was juggling between this one and Base 44. I was just about to purchase a subscription right before I found Natively. And, the primary purpose for me using a software like this is to work on my primary project, which is related to indoor rock climbing. But Natively seems to be more geared toward what I was trying to do, because Base 44 is all about web apps. It specializes in that, which I do have a web app side of things as well. But right now, my main concern is the mobile app. So, depending on the performance here, I think this may become the platform that I stick with.
That's amazing. Yeah, because there are
Yeah.
so many tools which are web-based focused, but kind of like there are not so many of them as natively that we, like really focus on mobile apps.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So, what's happening now with the coding basically? Is it just taking step by step what I've input, breaking it into pieces? How does it make its decisions?
And do you have any kind of coding, like basic knowledge, or it's like what do you think about coding in general?
I have a very basic understanding of coding. I wouldn't be able to do it on my own. Can I click into these?
Yeah, you can click and like click see how things are going. This is kind of code based and then shows you how things are done. Because you can also like I mean you can get the code into your GitHub, so like you're not locked in like natively. So you can just if you go on more, like near your name, you can see that you can actually like get the code in like GitHub and then work on that like further. But also like if you have a tech team, where they can expand on the base of like natively code, then it's much nicer for them. So you can get a template and then you can move on if you don't want to be locked in our tool, because our idea is not just kind of locking the users. It's more about like letting them launch their apps, and then you have integration. So everything is here, yeah, kind of needed for mobile apps. Yeah, this is like something because sometimes like technical people they use natively as well. So and then they just go in the code and then they edit the code there, kind of like put comments and like work on it. So this is like something yeah interesting for us to see how technical people are.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for because I do have an app development team that I'm currently working with, and they just took over the project from my previous team. They've organized everything, they've modernized everything, but working on this project that I have been for so long, it's become a very big money pit.
Yeah,
So you gotta pick and choose what you're able to do, and if I'm able to provide them at least the front end code at the very least, but it sounds like I can also do the back end code here.
yeah, like you can do the backend here, like with the database and other things, but also like as you were saying, it really costs a lot, to hire someone from the scratch, like do it from the scratch. But if you have something, at least kind of like the front end or like some type of visuals that they can actually see how you want to see it. So like this really helps a lot in the development process. And if you have some code base that they can see and that they can okay work on that, then that would be super amazing. Yeah. Because yeah, like now, with AI, everyone tries to lower the cost, just like save on lots of investment or like spending. So that's like something really cool.
Yeah, I mean, a software like this could put a lot of development companies out of business.
Yeah. Or like or lower employees now, so you don't need lots of employees anymore. Wow, okay, this was like longer prompt, so it took a bit more time to get it because it's a really detailed one. So it's listing.
Yeah, yeah. I tried to build the structure first. I don't want to give too much guesswork to the platform. I just want to give it the structure, and however it decides to break things down, then we'll just iterate from there, I suppose. But it looks like we're starting at either am I creating my own profile? It seems. That's why I guess it's doing.
I think it's the one for like the user that you kind of enter.
It's either a contact that I can enter because it's adding the interest, unless it wants me to add my own to
Mhm.
start with. So I guess we're done. What is this lint failed here?
There's some issues with just like click fix this error, and then let's see how things go. Okay, as a missing dependency, either include or remove the dependency. Yeah, because there is like dependency function. If you like, it's like if something like this, and then that should kind of like return to that. So that's something that yeah, it couldn't figure it out.
Okay.
But like, let's maybe enter the name and emails. Like, let's see if it works.
I could do that while it's coding.
Yeah, I think yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So we're stuck here.
Yeah, it doesn't go out. Okay. Yeah, okay. Because I think that kind of like maybe you already have put the data kind of the backend here. Like you ask for the backend so that it stores the data. Okay, it's fixed.
All right. So now we are just at let's see. So we had in the requirements the app setup and navigation flow. We had the sign up. We had the personal profile page, the main menu and settings page. contacts management, the ability to see the details of a contact, interests, a homepage feed, notifications, calendar, and contacts integration for the native apps that come with the phones. So it looks like we're stuck here. What would you advise? Should we tell the app? Should we tell Natively to look through the rest of the requirements?
So like I would suggest that we kind of comment that, okay, like we just put the information, but it doesn't, get it started. Because kind of like what I see is that also I was building one app with the tool, is that, if you haven't put the database, like if you haven't done the backend, then, it doesn't do the sign up. Because if you sign up, then the data should go somewhere. And we don't have the database yet. So I think that you can do two things. Either say, okay, fix this, and then it kind of like takes us to the database part, or we say that, okay, remove this sign up for now, and let us get to the app, and then you will come back to the sign up part in the end. Because this like sign up part is something that you can add in the end. And once you're done with the design, the kind of the app, then you add the authentications in the end. Because once you have the database connected, because the data should go somewhere, that's kind of the tricky part, I would say here. Because
Okay.
you already, yeah.
So I'll avoid doing the feature enhancements yet because we haven't gotten the primary features just yet. So let's see. You are to build Humidex, the relationship assistant app. So I'll skip the sign up and login flow then.
Yeah, exactly. And then it will let us to go inside the app.
Let's start right after the user has signed up / logged in. Show me the home page, menu, items, and other base aspects of the. How does that sound? Should I expand further? Should I repeat the requirements?
Maybe let's say kind of let's remove the user login for now. That could like sound much better, because like it will like remove the feature and then it will add it later. Because now if we say, it will still kind of keep us showing this. Yeah.
Let's remove the sign ups.
Yeah, let's do that. Because like last week I was also facing this issue. I was like, okay, like what's wrong with this? And then I learned that like you need to have the database in order to have the sign up part, because it needs to kind of also do the verification. So that was like learning for me last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's these types of kinks that, if we work them out now, and dispelling that information to everyone, like, hey, don't start at the login and sign up. We can figure that part out later. That's a standard with every app. But for now, we just got to focus on the core functionality and features.
Exactly. Because also like I'm learning now the basic of coding. And then in the coding part is that you first, think of the front end, like the front end, kind of how do you want to see the app? So people start with Figma design, some other design tools. And then kind of like based on that, requirements, and you think of the backend, and it kind of like once you're done with the front end and back end, then you add the sign up part, the verification, also the security part. So those things are like the last layer, because everything is ready, and then you just push the last one and then kind of see how it works. So there is a bit of flow here also, because the tool is thinking like a software developer, and if you put the sign up part, then it needs to verify the account, and then it needs to have a database. So it's really kind of there is logical thinking in it, and it's like learning path as well for vibe coders.
This is very interesting over here, how all the code is just happening in the back end.
But also, like to be honest, the other day I was like writing something on Reddit about vibe coding, and people were saying that in the past, the language, the coding language was 0101, and now with JavaScript and everything else, it's like language. So if you see export default function, it's like they kind of use English, kind of. So it's like the coding evolved like over the last kind of years, like 10, 20, 30 years. And now like slowly, we are like reaching out to this vibe coding part. You just need to type, and then code is done with you. So I think like coding, if you look at the journey, it's evolving so fast. Because now also like if you look at the coding, it's all English, it's all written things. So it's not like weird unknown numbers or whatever you call it.
Yeah, and that's about as far as I can go. Like I would understand the English part of it, understanding which aspect of the code it's actually affecting. I'm not sure. So with the 100, okay, I understand that we can go about as 100% of whatever border it's created, right? But which border is it affecting? I don't know. So I'm glad it's doing all this on the back end.
True.
All right, here we are.
This worked, yeah? Yeah. But also, if you download Expo Server like on your mobile app, then you can see the app on your phone, and then you can see like how it looks in the phone, because of the like resolutions, the design, everything else. So that's something cool. Wow. Okay, it's done, man.
So let's see. So the home page is intended to be a kind of a notification reminder type of platform. The original intent was to add people's social media. So every time someone makes a post from LinkedIn, from Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth, it would all populate here just for your specific contacts, not for everyone that you're following. So you can have a more pointed and narrow search. So if you see someone's out on vacation or someone just celebrated a birthday, you can just either go straight to their social media profile and comment on it, or you can just know that something's happening in their life to message them and say, hey, what's up? So if I click add my first contact, we have the quick save, which is what I was asking for. Just in case you're really on the go during a networking event and you don't have time to input all the full enriched details, at the very least, you can input the name, phone number, although I don't know if I want email to be a required field. So we got the first contact now.
Why doesn't
But I do need to see where we save the quick save contacts, because there should be separation between quick save contacts and contacts that have enriched details, because that's the primary usage of the app. You want to have the contacts full of the full details. We could add our own custom interest, do test, birthday.
do we really need the birthday?
So I want to be able to record birthdays and even like spouse names, kids' names,
Okay.
spouse birthdays, and kids' birthdays, because, people love it when you talk to them about their family as well. You want to stay in touch with them. You want to be reminded, hey, this is their spouse's name. This is when their birthday is. Hey, and I text, hey, Jimmy, happy birthday to your wife, man. Hope you're doing well.
That's cool.
When's their anniversary? So congratulate them on their anniversary.
That's amazing. Like, so if you really want to go kind of true and sincere relationship, not just okay. So
Exactly.
this like doesn't work. So we have to fix this part that when we add the contact,
Yep.
it doesn't save. It's like,
We can import contacts, which is cool. So we want to import contacts from the device. We want to sync the calendar from your device if you already have a range of birthdays and information. Cool. Yeah, so we definitely have to fix that. I didn't really go too deep into the projects portion yet. And then my own personal profile, which I think I selected these on the login, right? Maybe? Okay. And we can set up our own notifications and such. Okay. So here's the next thing that I'm wondering. Should I put in the phase 2 of my prompt, or to enrich those features and maybe some of those will be fixed like that? Or should I just knock out every individual piece that I've noticed is not working properly? How would you say I go about this?
I think the base goal will be that, we make this perfect. So like we just kind of, go and fix all the things that doesn't work now and then move next. Because then, like coming back to these simple features will be harder. And then also we will see how it works. And then maybe on the way, we will think about the enhancement differently based on the actual results now.
Okay, so it seems after adding a contact, the information is not saved anywhere. Let's save that information and apply it to the contacts page. If a birthday is set, we feed that into the home page feed, reminding the user that a birthday is coming. So we can start there. Is there anything else I should knock out in the first?
Let's go with this and then like see after adding and then like if it shows in other places, because that will be nice. But also kind of like I think kind of you raise a nice question or like kind of topic here that kind of do you need to enhance it or like do you like need to work on the current one? I think like with the same thing with software development or kind of like even this AI things is that it's better to work with what you have now and then make it work before kind of moving to something else, because then it's easier for you to actually see how the current one works and then you can add more, because then the AI will be confused, but also like you might be confused, like what you were initially taught about the first features and you kind of somehow forget it or kind of it loses the context of it. And then so yeah, like I do, like from my experience, I do encourage people to first work on the simple version, make it work, make it perfect, and then move on the enhancement and the paid features and adding them.
Okay, so what I would expect to happen is after I've added my first contact, this button should either disappear or become maybe a floating button. I would like to see it as a floating button, so it's always easy to add a contact on the fly very quickly. That's the main thing is a quick save for the basic contact information that you would add onto your phone anyways, with like a pool where I can find all the quick saved contacts, and then it's my job to remember the conversation that I've had with that person, especially if I want to be having that human connection with them. It's up to me to remember those pieces, but also to be able to visit that pool of quick saved contacts later and enrich those details into the contact later.
Yeah. And also, like, I was thinking, like, what would be nice is that if you can take a picture and upload it in that part. So, for example, like, if we have met somewhere in the event, if we have a selfie. So, like, when you click on me, you see the selfie, you can see my information. I think that would be more fun, and then you can also remember the person's face.
Yeah, that's one thing that I took as a mental note from one of the people that I see at every climbing convention that I go to. I've hosted several booths at this convention, and this person, he's there every single year. He owns several climbing gyms, and one thing that he always does is whenever he meets someone or he sees someone after not seeing them for the year, he always takes a selfie with them just to,
Yeah.
I guess have that in his back pocket. Like, hey, yeah, we saw each other at this point. I remember that it helps you remember the conversations you had like at that exact moment.
Yeah. It's like,
Seeing what you wore, you kind of remember little details that bring the whole picture back together.
yeah. Those kind of like it refreshes the memories, and then you kind of remember the full context of what happened that day, and like how did you take the picture, all those like small details.
Yeah, and something like that would really, really help someone like me at least, because I've been to maybe 5 or 6 of those conventions. I can tell you without a doubt, 1 through 3, complete blur. I don't remember anyone that I met there. I don't remember anything that I spoke about. So, it's good to have those types of mental reminders, something that you don't need to remember, but once you see it, everything just starts rushing back into your head, remembering like routes that you took and people that you spoke to.
Yeah, but also kind of like you're pointing to a nice direction is that because in this event there are so many people and we're all just collecting contacts, email lists, and then like in the end you're like, okay, who I talked to, and then you just look at the emails and then you cannot remember anyone or call who or what, and this is like, yeah, that's why I really like this idea. Uh, Compared to your second idea, I was like, okay, this is fun because this actually is something that we really needed.
People will try to convince themselves that they don't need it, but that's the thing. Like, you don't realize how good it is to make that personal connection with a contact until one starts coming through for you. If you're only there when you need something and you're only talking to someone when you need something, you kind of get put on the back burner in the back of their head for that person.
Yep.
But if you're consistently like talking to them, you're remembering certain dates that are important to them, that puts you in a different category of contact for that person, and that's really what we're trying to achieve here.
That's amazing. Wow, it's done, man. Let's try.
All right, so we have the feed of nudges. We want to connect with a specific person. That's cool. We haven't contacted this person in 45 days. You haven't reached out to this person yet. It's time to connect. That's pretty cool. We have the quick actions, quick add button. So that I like that. View all. So we have all of our contacts, and we have add contacts for the quick save and full details. So I think one of the next things I'm going to do is add a quick save pool. So it separates quick saved contacts versus enriched contacts with full details.
But also kind of like I would suggest that let's add some like a new contact to see if it adds, because that was the issue last time.
All right, so we have John Doe and we have Jane Smith. Who do we add next?
Let's add
Jahid. Jahid.
At natively.
Jahid at natively.
Dot. Yeah,
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
that's actually my number. I'm just kidding.
So
Didn't save. Yeah. Okay. So what I would suggest is that we just say to the it doesn't save it. Yeah. This was why I wanted to try it. So
okay, so I'll focus on the saving of contacts now. Right now, it's just showing, filler data, I assume.
yeah, I would say let's fix. Yeah.
Yep. Let's fix the saving of contacts. And I add a contact. I want their information to be saved we can create two separate databases.
I would say that let's not mention database because it will kind of already think about the backend, maybe list. So it's
Okay.
easier
All right.
to no, just kind of like let's not remove
All
it.
right. I want their information to be saved. Okay, hold on. So when I add a contact, there are two statuses or
List.
categorizations. There are two categories to save. Category one is the quick save contact pool. Category two is the enrich details contacts, which is the main.
Also, like what I would add is that like before when I add a contact, just write at and then two dot so that it knows that it's a new feature. So kind of it needs to add
When I add like
no. Like I mean that for example, like before when I add, it's just like you write add this new feature or like add this and then kind of put two dots so that this because when I add a contact, this is a new idea. It's all the
okay,
enhancement.
let's fix the saving a contact. When I add a contact, consider that to be a new feature.
Yeah.
To be a new feature. There are two categories to save contacts to. Category one is quick save contact pool. Category two is enrich details contacts, which is the main contact pool. We want to, for the quick save contact pool, the only required details are name and phone number. User or contacts found in this pool will create a notification after a day of sitting in this list to nudge the user to fill out the rest of their once the full details once additional details are added to the clients, we will move save. How does that sound?
Sounds great, man. Let's go. But also because I'm, in touch with lots of our users, and then I see how each one is thinking about a prompt, and it's interesting that every person has their own style of prompt. And actually, there's a bit of, like prompt engineering style that can be helpful. So, like for me, yeah, it's really interesting to see how each of our users like thinking, kind of like writing. This is kind of a cool way for us to also see how our tool is used, or like how our tool is how our tool works with different prompts and different styles of thinking.
What I would like to see is before we send a prompt, the system tries to give us a pre-understanding of what we're trying to say, and then it says, if you add this, this, and this can ensure that what you're trying to achieve will be achieved in the way that you're expecting it to be.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like okay. I see that. So
Like train it on the prompt engineering basics,
okay.
basically,
Yeah.
and convey those to users like myself.
Yeah. That's a good feedback actually. Yeah. So like, it's kind of like a box where you can kind of see how to prompt and then or like kind of
Yeah, like a little hint box. Like, I see you're trying to add this new feature. We consider this feature a database, so here's how you should format your prompt to make sure that we understand it. I don't know.
because kind of like from our experience, we see that different users they have different experience with the like how fast is their app being developed by natively based on their prompt. So kind of like this like prompt is still kind of like something really like it's something worth with kind of a prompt engineering to know because it works a lot. It's important.
So, okay, nice. So it just removed the email as I was updating this. So
Okay.
that's exactly what I wanted.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. It's still working. Okay.
So I'll give it a few more minutes before I start adding. But I like to see those immediate updates. That's so validating. This is an interesting feature that I did not request, but I don't mind it. Yeah, that's actually really cool. I would like to be able to do a quick, like, I want to see who all my finance contacts are, for example. And if I click on it, it'll show everyone with a finance tag on them.
Yeah.
Then if I have a finance issue, I'm looking for someone I can speak to real quick, and it'll just give me a quick update for who's part of my finance crew, and I'll just reach out to someone in that filtered list. I really like that.
That's amazing. But this is cool actually, yeah, like because now like it has also this like categorization of different contexts and like now it has quick save, enriched.
Yeah, if I could scroll left and right to see like art, I would like to see that one. Or photography. So maybe if I add an interest to you for marketing. Oh, okay. Build successful. Uploading preview. All right, let me give you an extra minute or so. Preview is ready. Committing changes. Awesome. So if I want to add another tag to you for marketing, for example, save changes.
Wow, and okay, it's safe. You see?
Okay, it didn't hold, but it's there. There's some there. So when I click business, it filters out for anyone with business. I can't scroll left or right, so I'm not able to look for creative art or photography, but yeah, it filters. Very cool, very cool. If I add a contact, quick save requires only name and phone number. You'll get a reminder tomorrow to add more details. So if I add Kelly,
But it's interesting that your name and like your wife's name is somehow like very close.
yeah, it was a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it holds the details from the quick save over to the full details, so that's cool. And then we can add more details if we want. And theoretically, Kelly should be here now. All right, so we still have some work to do. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a very good starting place for me, and lots of iteration to be done, but it's something that will be done.
Amazing, man, amazing. I think kind of like we had a nice overview and we know how far we are. I think kind of yeah, like kind of you like try to work and see if everything works, and then like put the enhancement features, and then yeah, like really looking forward to have you back and then do a live demo and then we give you a user feedback because I would love to use this. I'm a salesperson, I'm a business person, so for me, I go to a lot of events, and as you said, it's hard to kind of remember, but also each of our user and a customer is so valuable, and then if we like to build a good relationship, we really need data. You need kind of a good reminder. That's like something missing, especially now with AI. There's so many like everyone is super distracted, so like you really need a tool to kind of give you a full context of your contacts and your customers or relationships.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where this can take me
Great,
with
man. So
building this out.
thank you so much for joining us, man. Yeah, it was amazing to have you here.
Happy to have the chat and looking forward to the update call.
Yeah, thank you, man. Cheers. Bye bye.
See you later.